Okay, guys, so we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, what am I going to be, your friendly handler today? Because today we are kicking off, technically for the second time, a brief campaign of playing Arc Dream Publishing's excellent Delta Green RPG. And where's my agent's handbook? Here we go. Delta Green is, well, before I get into sort of some background for this session, this adventure, and what we'll be playing with it, let me introduce you to the agents who will be joining me for this campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Jaden.
Morning, everybody. I'm Jaden, and I am playing Special Agent Turner today.
Very nice. Next up is Robert.
Hi, my name is Robert, and I'm playing Special Agent Lewis Wood, who I just figured out. I wasn't sure if it was him or Donald Turner, and I clicked on it until I figured out which one I could actually access.
And last but certainly not least is John.
Everyone, I am John, and I will be playing Dr. Goyo Butler. She is an FBI intelligence and operations support personnel.
Very nice. So for those who may not be familiar, and Delta Green, I think, probably doesn't need an introduction, but let's provide some background. But Delta Green was originally published in the 90s as a single supplement that was for the then current Call of Cthulhu, I think 4th edition, Call of Cthulhu RPG. It was licensed by the publisher of Call of Cthulhu, and what it did is rather, at the time, Call of Cthulhu had what was called Cthulhu Modern, and it was their equivalent of like modern day, well then, modern day play. And what Delta Green did is it took kind of the conspiracy alien stuff that was best represented in the zeitgeist by X-Files, and combined that with Call of Cthulhu to create a game where you were playing members of a conspiracy within or adjacent to the U.S. Adjacent to, I think, at that time, to the U.S. government. It also incorporated things like Nazi super tech and a bunch of other stuff, particularly the gray aliens that were so much part of the zeitgeist at the time, into its own thing within the context of the Cthulhu mythos that grew into a series of supplements and whatnot. And then in 2016, that was re-released as its own standalone game. Now, the standalone game is very much a product of its time. Delta Green, this game, is very much a product of post 9/11 war on terror, America, as opposed to the conspiracy 90s America. And the game otherwise functions pretty much the same. It is based or uses as a starting point. It's the basic role-playing system that's been used in, most of Chaosium's RPGs one way or another, as well as a bunch of other things like RuneQuest and Mithras, and even Dragonbane is sort of a BRP-based game. If you are familiar with Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, this does not have many of the more modern dice innovations like pushing a roll or advantage with dice rolls. This is more of a straightforward thing, but it does also make changes to the Call of Cthulhu setup, as well as it adds some things to the game that make for a gameplay that is different from your typical Call of Cthulhu game. The most recent Kickstarter that they released for it was to return to its roots, and this is The Conspiracy, the 90s sourcebook, and there's a series of 90s adventures that they released alongside that, including updated versions of some of the original adventures from the original 1990s Delta Green, including the adventure we're playing today, Puppet Shows and Shadow Plays, which is, I've run this 3 or 4 times now. For different groups over the years. It is one of my favorite adventures. I love this one in particular because it introduces the characters and the players to Delta Green. You don't have to start as part of it. We tried starting this game 2 weeks ago, and then, as is appropriate for a Delta Green game, my internet service provider crashed for an hour midway through the session. So rather than having a half-assed start to it, what we figured we would do is start fresh from this. So if you did, this seems familiar to folks who were joining us live last time. My apologies that video has gone off into the ether. The conspiracy has had to quarantine that for reasons that are above your need to know level. We did, however, create our characters. Everyone selected some template pre-gens. They customized their characters and created the bonds, which is part of not only the kind of character creation backstory element of this particular game, it's also a narrative a game mechanic that is used to sort of preserve stability. One part of what the gameplay loop is like for this game is you go as members of Delta Green, conduct investigations, have a psychological trauma or psychological cost that comes from those investigations, and the bonds allow you to push that off on your friends and family and church and sports team or whatever. We have all characters are from different kind of branches within the FBI. We've got Special Agent Turner, who is more of your regular special agent. We've got Agent Wood, who is part of the Behavioral Sciences unit. And we've got Dr. Butler, who is a physician and what was the word we were using? Not mortician. Oh gosh, do you remember, John? What was we said there was a type of doctor. I don't remember what the phrasing was, but a pathologist.
Yeah, that's it.
So, diagnosing diseases and also conducting forensic investigations. So, guys, with that kind of extended intro, I guess the last thing I'll say before we launch into the actual about the characters is, of course, this session will contain spoilers for puppet shows and shadow plays. So if you do intend on playing that adventure, proceed with caution. We will be revealing some of the secrets from that adventure. And it's worth noting as well that they have made changes to this one. I can't speak for the other 90s updated adventures yet because I haven't done a comparison, but they did actually not clean this one up, but made some changes to the adventure to make it fit with the sensibilities of what Delta Green ended up becoming rather than what it sort of was in its proto state in the original source book. So, guys, why don't we talk about what I would like to hear about is your bonds and your skills. I want to know what skills you have particularly high ratings in. So this game, when you have a certain level in certain skills, you don't need to make rolls for certain things. The way that this game gets around the sort of, punishing nature of dice rolls sometimes is by just saying, all right, if you got a 60% in X skill, you're going to know and be able to do Y, Z, whatever, stuff with it. So, Jade, let's start with you. Who are your bonds for Special Agent Turner?
Well, let's see here.
You got 3, is that right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Chose my ex-spouse, my church group, and my ex-partner. Ex-spouse is Victoria Alvarez.
Okay.
Church group is...
Ooh, she's gone back to her maiden name, I take it?
Yes. Church group is Church for the Nations, and then the ex-partner is Monica Garcia.
Monica. And is Monica from like a ex-FBI partner, or were you in another branch of law enforcement before you came?
Good question. Let's say another branch of the FBI.
Okay, love it. So she's still, that's cool, because that could give you, that's a cool kind of like, we just watched the episode where one of Dana's former friends from the academy tries to get her and Mulder in to help on something, and it's just a prick the entire time. So Monica will not be like that, but it is a good example. Okay, great. Robert, why don't you tell us who Agent Wood's bonds are?
Yeah, I have a father who lives in Montana. He named Sam. He moved up there maybe let's say a couple of years ago. Get away from Arizona, wanted to be more in kind of more like a Canadian environment, actually. Obviously, woods, the moose, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of stress when he moved. They've been trying to get back together again, and of course, Agent Wood always says, "Hey, I'm going to come up and visit you. I want to hang out for a couple of weekends." Instead, what usually ends up happening is they end up talking on the phone, and these days, Agent Wood is trying to not psychoanalyze him as much as he's begun doing that, and because that's his job, and his dad isn't taking well to it, so just kind of putting a possible hook in there for later if he needs to project. Then the other major bond, it's actually 4 people. It's a neighbor surrogate family. They live next to him. The neighborhood is relatively that he lives in is relatively middle class, but the family has kind of fallen on some maybe hard times. They've had maybe some medical bills and whatnot, and so they've had to work a lot harder. I don't have names for them yet. I can work on that in here, or they can come up and role play. But they also have a couple of kids, 10 and 8 years old, girl 10, boy 8, and he kind of helps out where he can. So he's sort of become almost a informal guardian to the kids when the parents are like working a second job or whatnot. So they can, when he's home, they can come over and hang out, or sometimes he goes over and checks on them, type of thing. So,
is he married, Agent Wood?
Agent Wood is not married.
Not married. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's right. So the analyst only gets 2 bonds, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. And Dr. Butler, John, let's tell us who her bonds are.
Let's see. Well, her first and foremost one would be to her grandmother. Her name's Edna Butler. She is quite advanced in age. Edna.
Okay.
Basically, the grandmother is like the pivotal keystone figure in her extended family group. And being advanced in age, she's more susceptible to getting sick and things like that. So she is extremely protective of that particular person.
Okay.
And adores her because she's raised like 2 or 3 generations of kids, pretty much on her own, but with extended help.
Is she in Phoenix as well, or is she located elsewhere? Is she okay?
But she doesn't want to be too far away.
Okay.
The other bit is she's got a huge network of siblings because of everybody that just come from her grandmother. She's less connected to most of them, but because it's such a huge group, it's family gatherings, things like that. Dr. Butler is very family oriented.
Okay.
She is single, so she doesn't actually have a family of her own. So her nieces, nephews, dotes on all of them. And then the other one is the church group she belongs to. Less religious per se, but more of an extended community. It's like a Pentecostal Church of God kind of thing. But she attends maybe once a month based on her schedule because she goes everywhere and because of this job.
Okay, great. So from the player side, how was it picking the bonds? Because something you don't do in Call of Cthulhu.
No, it kind of stretched my I got to invent a whole bunch of other stuff for the character that means more than other characters I've made.
It's also over the course of play at default where you'll be building up those bonds and then just breaking them as you go along.
Tell me your backstory so I can turn it down.
One thing I'll mention as well, we're playing the game as written with one exception. Because we tend to play with a lot of narrative meta-currencies in most of our games, we're not going to introduce like a luck mechanic into this thing, but we're going to use an idea from the Delta Green Discord server where for a roll of 1d4, for your willpower, you get a reroll. So you can reroll a dice roll at the cost of 1d4 willpower. Okay, let's talk about the FBI in general. And I will say for those listening at home, this is in the game context. So if any of this is incorrect as far as the real world operations are concerned, I'm not really fussed. There's no Lovecraftian creatures in our world either. So if we get one thing wrong for the purpose of immersion, let's see here. Where in the heck is it? Here we go. 109. All right, so the FBI at a glance. So here's some things that I think is really cool about the game too. Is it tells you what your characters are capable of doing. Like what does your agency do in the context of the apparatus of the U.S. government? Do you have the power of arrest? Yes, you do. You can arrest people as an FBI special agent. Are you expected to carry a weapon? Yes, you are. Can you access official funds? You can be supplied with a credit line if traveling or on an investigation up to a standard expense without eliciting an official review. That actually might change in the 90s, so we'll flag that. Operational budget and restricted items. Agents from the FBI may use bureaucracy, one of your skills, to access criminal files from any federal agency, including those tied to national security. This is equivalent to a standard expense. This rarely elicits official review unless done repeatedly for individuals the agents have no reason to investigate. Organization. The FBI is headquartered in Washington, D.C., and its director reports to both the Attorney General and the Director of National Intelligence. I don't know if that's been changed for the 90s. The FBI operates field offices in most major cities throughout the United States. The FBI provides law enforcement on many Native American reservations alongside the Bureau of Indian Affairs and tribal authorities. Each field office and major operation is headed by a special agent in charge, a SAC, who generally answers to the director. Each SAC is in charge of FBI agents and analysts from many divisions and branches. Assistant special agents in charge, ASACs, lead subdivisions and answer to the SAC. The FBI maintains a presence abroad through liaisons with federal friendly law enforcement organizations and through legal attaché program. The FBI bases legal attachés and advisors in American embassies and occasionally embeds them with friendly foreign law enforcement offices to support specific investigations. So I don't know if that's true of the 90s, because in the 90s, there is a very intense rivalry between the CIA and between the FBI. So we'll just revisit that when we get to there. And for the purpose of this investigation, it's not necessarily going to matter. The operatives. FBI agents must have college degrees, most have graduate degrees, and must pass rigorous psychological and physical screenings. Many new FBI agents are longtime veterans of law enforcement at the local or federal level. Qualification for the FBI is extremely difficult, and the months-long training regimen has led to a high washout rate. Most FBI employees and all special agents must qualify for and hold a top-secret clearance because of the sensitive nature of their work. Special agents and many support staff must pass a polygraph and a background investigation. Training at the FBI Training Academy, Quantico, Virginia, involves firearms, tactical vehicle operation, law, case exercises, surveillance techniques, defensive tactics, and other operational skills. Counterintelligence training is reserved for experienced special agents who are then usually detailed to partner agencies in the intelligence community. Again, that's, I think, a post 9/11 development. Agents who hold the hostage rescue team or field office SWAT teams are often former military, frequently from the 75th Ranger Regiment. HRT agents receive intense training on par with military special operations. None of you guys are there, but it's worth knowing that that is a resource. Besides special agents, FBI employs specialized support personnel, including intelligence analysts, language specialists, forensic scientists, and behavioral psychoanalytic experts. The authority and mandate. There's two other sections I just want to go through here. The authority and mandate. FBI investigates corruption, civil rights violations, organized crime, crimes committed across state lines, threats to national security, espionage, and terrorism. FBI agents are expected to support local authorities and officials from other agencies who may have been first to investigate, but if the FBI has jurisdiction, the FBI usually takes the lead. FBI agents are typically deployed when local law police ask for assistance or report a federal crime. In many cases, the FBI builds its own federal case and gathers its own evidence, even when local law enforcement investigates the same suspects for local crimes. If the FBI feels local law enforcement may get in the way, the agency can petition the Attorney General's office to contact local law enforcement and assert the FBI's lead on the case. These orders often requires the local law enforcement body to turn over its evidence and support the FBI. And then there's some stuff about overseas, but that's not going to be, I don't know if that's current to the 90s, and I don't know if it's germane for our mission. Playing in the Bureau. So this is just advice for how to approach playing a member of the FBI. As an FBI agent, you are probably detail-oriented perfectionist. Process is important to everyone in the FBI. Results matter too, but process leads to results, and so get the process right. FBI agents and specialists are taught to take each case in distinct steps with close attention to detail at each phase. Good process means a case is less likely to be thrown out of court on a technicality. Even kinetic operations like thwarting a hostage-taking focuses on getting little details right. The FBI specializes in high-profile and time-sensitive cases and anticipates that each of their investigations is going to come under scrutiny. An FBI agent's supervisors will be the first to assess the operation, looking for missteps. There's also the media and Congress to think about. Trouble on an FBI case means increased attention from local contacts, the media, and politicians. Politicians are always looking for local votes. Be respectful and tread lightly when a congressman or senator's name is invoked. There are a few ways to get yanked off a case faster than angering a member of Congress. Working for FBI is intense and stressful. The organization's responsibilities are expansive, even with numerous personnel and a large budget. The Bureau can't cover everything. FBI agents and employees are expected to be personable. The need to work with local authorities and other federal agencies on complex topics and investigations means you know how to work with a wide variety of people. Even under pressure, you know how to keep cool, whether in a gunfight or in dealing with a local who is just compromised your evidence. Antisocial and belligerent FBI agents don't normally do well. So that's the core book for that. I have a voice in the back of my head that's saying about potential comments. All those contexts, that is 10 years distant. So in the event anyone wants to leave snarky comments about the current state of the FBI, be aware this is 10 years distant. So how does it differ in the 90s? A couple things you guys need to know. I guess in general about the 90s, there's a couple things that are worth remembering. Our adventure is taking place, I believe, in 93, either 93 or 97. I'll double check that in a second. The ubiquity of cell phones is non-existent at this stage. There is a car phone that you were assigned as part of the detailing. That's it. The FBI does not do that. You also, more often than not, if you can drive to investigation, you'll do that rather than fly. The agency is a little more cost conscious at that time. Mobile video cameras in the 90s are rare, and paper trails are slow and inefficient. FBI agents can operate with significant impunity if they take a bare minimum of precautions. This is especially true when an agent is away from major cities. Most middle-income families own camcorders, but take them out only for special occasions. No mobile phones have cameras. Street cameras are tied to a few police stations and traffic reports. Dash cams only come online later, and few police forces see a need to install them. The only place video cameras are common is near banks or within ATM machines. It's funny, the ATM machine. That's what it says in print. Reports of malfeasance are hard to prove. Local police and state-level authorities may send complaints to DC about FBI excesses in the field, but damning evidence is rare. As long as the accused agent is calm and has a good story, significant disciplinary action is rare. Agents are expected to use Bureau-issued credit cards for official purposes, but oversight of those purchases is uneven. For security reasons, senior-level Bureau employees are never questioned about their purchases. Cash is still preferred at most locations, so agents can erase their paper trail easily. This is the 90s as well, so while debit cards are a thing in Canada, they are not in the States. So it is use of credit cards, or make sure your bank is open and take the cash out beforehand.
Those ATM machines, right?
Or the ATM machine is correct, yeah. And in the States, I don't know, would it just charge it to your credit card in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
A lot of people got in debt that way.
Yeah, no doubt. Because like in Canada at the time, you could use the ATM, but it would dispense from your bank account, not from your credit card. When disciplinary action is taken, an agent may be forced to transfer or assigned to a desk duty. Serious action is usually reserved for cases that make the news or involve known criminal personalities. The FBI's leaders have no qualms about arresting and incarcerating a problematic agent whose violence or corruption go public. Sometimes the public needs to sacrifice to ensure the reputation of the Bureau remains intact. So at this time, there is the healthy suspicion of the government, but there isn't a Director of National Intelligence. There isn't a Homeland Security. Homeland Security is a little less than 10 years off from being created. So there are a proliferation of a bunch of different individual agencies. The FBI crime stats is sort of the thing that local, there's a name for it. Not ASAC. VICAP, Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. That's it's for violent criminals. It's the first database, and it's the most, at this time, it is the most effective database to access. We are in a time of modems for communications. Email and communication on bulletin board servers are common among tech-savvy communities, but rare in the general public. Computers need phone line modems for electronic communications, often tying up telephone lines for hours. A great many people use internet services delivered through proprietary interfaces such as America Online, Prodigy, and Genie. The World Wide Web is very new to most and an unsteady resource. The ubiquity of Google is a few years away. Most phone calls happen on landlines. An agent out on a case finds a payphone to call to place a call or asks to borrow the landline phone in a nearby business and hopes for the best. A senior agent may be issued an AudioVox car phone, a telephone and headset stored in a shoebox-sized leather carrying bag with a foot-long rubber antenna. The precursors of modern mobile phones, these car phones are powered either by the vehicle's cigarette lighter or an internal battery pack. Mobile phones are uncommon until the end of the 90s, and most are bulky and costly. A cell phone plan is an expensive luxury reserved in the FBI for only the most senior officials. Signal coverage is spotty and practically non-existent in rural or semi-rural areas. Encryption is weak or non-existent. Text messages by phone are all but unheard of until the end of the 90s. Pagers, on the other hand, common, reliable, and cheap. They receive radio signals like cell phones, but use vanishingly little data. A pager has its own phone number. The caller usually sends numbers typed on their phone. Usually that's a number to call from a phone, but sometimes it's a private code. Need a call back in a hurry, send your phone number and a 911 for emergency. The FBI is especially slow to adapt to modern communication. Agents still record reports on audio cassette for later transcription. Many forms are typed or handwritten using carbon paper to create copies. Most digital files are stored on 3.5-inch discs. Agents don't get personal computers at their desks. Director Louis French believes that those would tie agents to their desk and prevent them from going out and doing aggressive investigation work. On average, about 14 FBI agents share time on a single computer. Most printers are dot matrix, loud, and bulky, using perforated paper. Inkjet and laser printers become affordable late in the 90s. Only upper-level executives are authorized to use email for internal messages, and for security, those go only by notoriously sluggish and glitchy intranet that connects FBI headquarters and field offices. Other agents use private email servers. AOL is popular because its program includes chat rooms and forums, and you only have to install AOL once on a computer for many agents to use. Out of security concerns, though, very few official Bureau computers provide internet access. So, when you were in the field, that largely means you're going to be on your own, but you do have autonomy and you have a degree of freedom from consequence as well. So you can feel free to conduct yourself with that. I think that's all the setting stuff. I was checking to see what was, I want to say July 1993 is when this adventure takes place. And if you want to contextualize what is playing on the radio, it is likely Seal's Kiss from a Rose. which is very popular at this time. If you want to know what's in the news, it would be the conflict in the former Yugoslav Republic is becoming a source of increasing international attention. There has also been a catastrophic heat wave in Chicago recently that led to several fatalities. And let me just double check here.
I just looked up some of the top charts in July '93. Janet Jackson's "That's the Way Love Goes," and then tag teams. Boom, there it is.
I might have a year wrong. What? Let me just double check here.
I remember listening to those songs quite often.
Yeah.
Of course, I was 8 at the time, so. Say my mom listened to those all the time.
Yeah, I don't remember. Let's see. I had it written down, and then I managed to lose my notes in between. Which is again tracks for. It's August 1993, I believe.
Okay.
Because some of the stuff takes place in. Let me just take a look here.
UB40 was popular that month.
UB40.
Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Yep.
Whoop, there it is. Was still up there. Oh, Mariah Carey's Dream Lover. Oh, and that song that's been popular very recently, I'm going to be 500 Miles. That was playing.
I served those guys when they were in Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah.
August 1, 1995. Forgive me. Yeah. So that would make you 9, John, and that would make Jaden not quite 1.
Kiss from a Rose, you were spot on with that, and then it's TLC Waterfalls.
Oh, yeah, Waterfalls. So that is the year, August of 1995. That is sort of the milieu we'll be playing in. Have you guys any questions about the characters, the game, the era that we're playing in? Depressing as fuck that it's called an era now. Okay, then. None, John?
Oh, no.
Okay, perfect. Then, guys, our adventure will actually open with the 3 of you in an FBI sedan. Let's put you... About an hour and a half, maybe a little more outside of Phoenix, on your way to the San Carlos Indian Reservation. Who is driving, who is in shotgun, and who's sitting in the back seat?
Drive isn't one of my high skills, but I don't think we're in a getaway, so...
Sorry, I'm trying to remember. So, what's your Donald Turner? What's his particular?
He's a special agent. He's like law enforcement is his thing.
Okay,
if you want to think like the most normie, kind of agent, Special Agent Turner would be the one. So he may be the one driving while Dr. Butler and Special Agent Wood.
Maybe Wood's back seat. He's where he could like spread out some notes and whatnot. Obviously he's in the conversation, but if there is one, but it's also like half looking at moving things around on other case files that he has, and obviously not top secret stuff because who knows, these guys may not have a need to know, but
And another flashback thing from the 90s, some new viewers might not be aware of. Side seat navigating, you had the map open and you were telling people where to go. That's what doing.
So you guys are fortunately the route to where you were heading, and the area immediately around the San Carlos reservation. Is this going to load properly here? There we go. Let me bring you over.
think Agent Turner, he's got his Marlboro. He takes a huff of it and taps it in the ashtray and looks over at Dr. Butler and says, "How far are we out?"
Yeah, everyone smoked.
So you guys are, those things are going to kill you.
On Highway 70, and if I should have checked beforehand, I don't know if it's Peridot or Peridot, Arizona. Probably Peridot, because of anglicizing stuff. But San Carlos is where you guys are heading. Right, here.
Yeah, we heading east or west?
You are heading southeast from Phoenix. You'll see as marked on the map here, off in the northwest.
Gotcha.
And you may be thinking over, there are two individuals who you're going to be meeting with, local law enforcement. The one is, let's see here, if the name's correct here. I took all my notes before, and I don't know where the hell I put them. The conspiracy took them, just like my internet connection last time. The two you're going to be meeting with is here we go. An Apache tribal police liaison named Alejandro Colorados, and a Arizona State Police officer named Major Frank Garrett.
That's going to be interesting.
I'll put those.
Tribal and normal law enforcement still button heads in this particular time period?
What's interesting you pointed about that, there always going to be some friction with that, but there's also a friction with federal authorities and the tribal authorities. Wounded Knee is not so far off from this. Wounded Knee at the time is actually closer to when it occurred than what today is to when we're setting this adventure.
I can totally see. Locals didn't really do much anything. It was that damn federal government.
So here is the... I'll put it in chat here. So Major Frank Garrett is the Arizona State Police officer, and then it is Alejandro Colorados, is the police chief. And the reason that the three, I will tell you that I don't think any of you three have worked together before. But you have, it's Patrick Hobbs, I think, is your SAC for Phoenix. So Patrick Hobbs is kind of like one of these, there is a mandatory retirement. I can't remember if it's 55, 57 in the FBI, but there's a mandatory retirement age, and Hobbs is 1 year off from that. So he is a seasoned veteran. 57 is the mandatory retirement. Okay. And the reason you guys have been called in on this is actually kind of a bit of something that is being referred to in the news as the Devil's Highway. Route 70 is a stretch of highway that cuts alongside and I believe goes through the San Carlos reservation. Yeah, it does end up going through there. And there has been a number of disappearances along there over the past couple of months. This has drawn the attention of the media, and because there are no bodies that have been found here, it is presumed to be a kidnapping, which means the FBI is the agency that should be responding to this. The local law enforcement, Major Garrett and Chief Colorados, both of them have conducted some local investigation, and we'll have more particulars about the individuals who have been reported missing. You'd asked John about the coordination, in part because some of the people who are said to be missing are foreign nationals. They didn't necessarily know, or their families didn't know, to report to the tribal police. They reported to Arizona State Police. Where you'll be meeting is in San Carlos itself, the town, where at the police chief's office, but Major Garrett will be there as well. There is a total of 10 individuals who have gone missing in the last little bit. Vehicles found abandoned on the side of the highway, showing no signs of sabotage, no mechanical failure. So as you can imagine, it's got kind of the imagination of the press, at least the local press. The one thing that Hobbs wishes to emphasize, to reach San Carlos is about a little more than 2 hour drive through desert and scrub, scorching in the summer the entire way. What Hobbs emphasized was that law enforcement's cooperation, particular federal law enforcement's cooperation with Indian authorities, needs to be kid-gloved. They're unlikely to be pleased to see federal agents on their lands, and trying to secure their cooperation with the investigation is going to be kind of a extremely necessary part of a successful investigation, or at the very least not making things worse. Would you have had any questions for Hobbs before setting out? Whatever those questions are, maybe you're thinking of them in the car as you're driving along the sun-scorched highway, reaching the junction where you'll be turning.
Probably whether or not any the foreigners were of high importance.
You don't have that information as of yet. The locals have that, but probably could find it. It's a reasonable question. As far as they know, these are tourists who have gone missing. This isn't a matter of foreign dignitaries who happen to be traveling. What you're seeing right now, guys, this is the junction with Highway 70 just outside of Peridot to turn up towards San Carlos.
Thank you, Google Maps.
Yeah.
Yep.
You imagine having that in the 90s? You'd never get lost.
Yeah, really. I think the last road trip I took, I did not make use of Google Maps, to be honest. I mean, it was quite some time ago, but... So any questions you would have had for Hobbs?
This was just like any kind of questions?
Yeah, anything. We can flash back to sitting in his office, the air conditioner blaring.
I guess one question I would have had was like, okay, so 10 people have gone missing, and how long about did this, like over what time period?
Over a little more than a month.
A little more than a month. Why has it taken so long for this to hit our radar?
Well, people going missing, they go missing all the time.
Right.
And you have to triage resources. So nothing nefarious, but, one person going missing, that does not an FBI case make.
Right.
And
10, but okay.
So that is the reason. And then there's also the jurisdictional issue.
Yep.
So the FBI is limited to like cross-state issues, kidnappings, those kind of specific things. So if this was murders, it wouldn't necessarily be an FBI task as well, particularly because it all happens within Arizona, or at least the missing people seem to have gone missing in Arizona. But this is enough of a way for you to step in, particularly given that we've got two different agencies, the Apache Tribal Police, and then the Reservations Police, and then as well the Arizona State Police involved. FBI could serve, if nothing else, as a coordinator for this. It is unusual, I think, for him to have put together such a team in such a way. Like, none of you have worked together. If this is a kidnapping, why send a pathologist? If this is a kidnapping, why send a behavioral specialist?
Considering she's mostly oriented towards the forensics and medicine, Dr. Butler is a bit personable. Her persuade's pretty good. So she is... she's more curious about local relations between, factions than anything else, because she knows, now that three agencies are involved, there's going to be some people hot under the collar and not liking the stepping on toes that's going to happen. I
totally forgot to. I think Special Agent Wood actually speaks Apache as well.
That's good.
He does.
Butler does not.
Yeah. He does. His persuade is also relatively good at a 60, but
same as Butler's. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Now I know why I'm the driver. My persuasion is 50.
All right.
Persuading squirrels to not do the in front of the car.
So that's the base level of information you have as you turn off and make your way down. It's probably another 2 miles up the road before you hit San Carlos itself. And guys, these friendly streets of San Carlos.
The blink and you'll miss it kind of town.
Yeah, and like I didn't quite get, I actually couldn't see where the municipal office is, or at least couldn't get a good shot of it. But this is very much what the municipal buildings look like. So when you're pulling up, think, hacienda style strip mall, not like office building. When you pull up, what you would see parked out front is an Arizona State Police vehicle, along with the vehicles that would be attached to the Apache is it Reservation Police? I'm trying to remember what the organization is called here. Apache Tribal Police. And standing...
What time of year is it?
August.
August, okay.
It is fucking scorching. August in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I mentioned I did a road trip through Death Valley in September. And fucking hell. 47 degrees Celsius at night, Jaden. At fucking night. It's so hot. What you see standing outside is this fella smoking a cigarette. And from the number of cigarettes on the ground, you get a sense that he's been standing out here in this heat with a little bit of shade for quite some time. There's no reason. People are clearly within the office. He's just standing outside.
Okay.
So you guys pull up, step out of the vehicle. The heat hits you like a wave as soon as you step out of the air conditioning of the vehicle. You know it's going to be a scorcher when you get back into that vehicle later in the day. But as soon as you step out, this fella would immediately sort of, drop the cigarette in the ground, stub it out with his boot, and say, "You up from the agency?"
That's right. Special Agent Wood, and then Special Agent Turner and Dr. Butler.
Major Frank Garrett, Arizona State Police.
Wood walks over and kind of makes the motion to shake his head. If he does not react like quickly, he just kind of Yeah.
You put your hand out. What he does sort of a little bit of a look up and down. Then he gives you that.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a reference in Catcher in the Rye to Commander Blop. The Commander Blop who feels the need to, crush your hand so you don't think he's a pansy.
Yeah.
He gives you a Commander Blop handshake.
All right. I mean, let's say I wonder what my strength is. I'm not going to try to beat that. I'm just trying to, not get crushed.
Yeah. And he's an asshole. Like it's a handshake that tells you everything you need to know about this particular fella. Yeah. He'll shake your hand in a similar way, Space Agent Turner. And Dr. Butler, there is a reluctant shaking of your hand. I think you're observant enough to pick that up. Yeah. When you guys are meeting him outside, you see someone within kind of grab his hat and step out, and he looks like this.
It's a smart person staying inside, not getting dehydrated.
Yeah.
And the fella who steps outside, he's clearly Apache, and he says, "You're the FBI."
Yes, and Agent Wood also gives a if there's a standard greeting in Apache, he gives it.
And he's about to shake your hands, and he kind of stops, and he replies back to you, and he says, "You're Apaches. It's really good."
I enjoy learning new languages and cultures.
Major Garrett has a look on his face like he bit into something that he doesn't like. Now that he sees that you're speaking to him in Apache. Switching back to English, Chief Colorados introduces himself to each of you. You get a much warmer greeting from him than you do from Major Garrett. And he says, Chief Colorados says, "Well, thanks for coming out on this. We've got files ready for you to review, a summary." And Major Garrett kind of spits on the ground. Somehow he's got chewing tobacco now too. And he says, "So let's get this over with." He heads inside. Chief Colorados will come inside as well. And he spares another look back at you, Agent Wood, like he's mentally making note of something he wants to talk to you about.
You guys have seen Butler's pulled out a notepad and he's scribbling something down.
Okay. So you head inside and you're brought into the conference room. This is a very, very, very modest police office. Like if you, this is, there's clearly markings there's the Apache flag. There are markings for the Apache tribal police on here, but it looks like he's got maybe like 2 other people who are working for him, one of which seems to be clerical in nature. Brings you into the back, in a room that has probably been repurposed to serve as sort of an office, but there's sufficient place for you to work. He then hands out copies of one copy, I guess, that you guys will probably have to share. Let me share the summary. Here are, guys. This is the brief summary of facts.
I love the handouts in Call of Cthulhu. And
they're amazing. And that's one thing that's nice about the updated versions. They've really gone all out for updating, because like there were similar kind of things you could photocopy and hand out in the original Delta Green one. These are way better. So, guys, would you like to read some of the pertinent info on here, guys, or do you want me to summarize some stuff from here, or how would you like to communicate this for the folks at home?
As in, we would read it out loud?
Yeah, just so, because the folks, why don't we do it this way? Jaden, why don't you start with that first paragraph in brief summary of facts?
Excellent. 13 people are suspected of having been abducted in the last month in the area of U.S. Route 70 on the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation. There were no signs of violence in any of these cases, no known enemies. no valuables missing except for whatever each victim had on their person. No contact from the perpetrator or victims. No suspects.
Robert, you want to give us a summary of the missing?
Sure. Date, July 4th. Alan and Karen Kirtley their car was found abandoned on US Route 70 en route to their son's house. July 6th, Felix Royos, gas station attendant working the night shift on US Route 70. On July 10th, Ed Stoltz and Chris Martin, they were fishing at the reservoir near US Route 70, camp undisturbed. Around July 15th, Rolf Trautner and Frieda Ollenberg, they were German tourists, rental car found abandoned on US Route 70. Around July 15th, Dieter and Vera von Olsen, Dutch tourists, rental car found abandoned on US Route 70. And around July 27th, the Big A family of 4, ranch near US Route 70, found abandoned for at least a week.
And John, you want to give us a summary of Alan and Karen Kirtley's particulars? Oh, you're muted, John. So we get to toast Mo. To Mo.
There you go. Didn't want people hearing my coughing. Alrighty, so Alan and Karen Kirtley. Alan Kirtley, white male, age 57, owner of Dun & Reddy Roofing Company with 30 full-time employees in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Medium-sized contractor doing primarily home repair. Karen Kirtley, white female, age 53, employed full-time at her husband's business as an accountant/bookkeeper. They have no outstanding debts. Company has no ties to crime. Their son, Brian Kirtley, age 32, living in Phoenix, Arizona, has no financial problems that would require his advancing his inheritance. By all accounts, the Kirtleys had good relationships with family and business associates.
Jane, you want to tell us about Felix Royos?
All right. Felix Royos, Hispanic male, age 20. High school dropout, who has worked at a number of unskilled labor positions since his 16th birthday. Several juvenile arrests, the possession of alcohol by a minor, curfew violations, and criminal mischief. No known criminal associates since his 18th birthday. His older brother, Enrico Royos, age 24, has 2 convictions for grand theft, both plea bargained down from armed robbery.
And Robert, you want to tell us about Ed Stoltz and Chris Martin?
Sure. Ed Stoltz, white male, age 32, mechanic for Greyhound bus lines, married to Laverne Stoltz, age 29, 1 child, Timothy, age 3. Chris Martin, white male, age 30, assistant manager at True Value Hardware store in Tempe, Arizona, single. Both men are natives of Phoenix and went to the same high school. They went fishing at San Carlos Lake at least once a month. Neither man has a criminal record or any criminal associations.
John, you want to tell us about Harris Trautner and Frau Ollenburg?
Yes, Wolf Trautner, nationality German, white male, age 22. Frieda Ollenburg, nationality German, white female, age 22. Both recently finished their 3-year national service commitment in Germany and were taking a short vacation prior to attending university. Neither have any friends or relatives in the United States. They had been traveling by bus and train and had been in the United States for 2 weeks.
Jane, you want to tell us about the Van Olsens?
Dieter and Vera Van Olsen. Dieter Van Olsen, nationality Dutch, white male, age 65. Retired vice president for petroleum exploration, Royal Dutch Shell Corporation, spending his retirement seeing the world. His wife, Vera, age 60, is a homemaker. They had been touring the United States by car for the past 3 months. They have no connections or contacts with anyone in the Southwest, but they did have reservations to stay near the Grand Canyon 4 days before their car was found.
And then finally, Robert, you want to tell us about the Begay family?
Sure. Victorio Begay, Native American male, age 42, his wife Louisa, age 38, and their sons Luca, age 13, and Paco, age 15. Victoria Begay is a respected member of the Apache community, owning 200 sheep, 30 hectares of property, 2 pickup trucks, and a home big enough to give his children their own rooms. He has no enemies, either personal or business. Louisa and both his sons work their ranch full-time. The relations in the community are good. No member of the family has a criminal record.
So as you guys are finishing up with what's going on, I guess Chief Colorado's first says, any questions? Anything jump out?
Yes, I'm curious. The 2 foreign kidnappings. He got to put just a little bit of stress on the word because we don't actually know what that is yet. Were those cars found near each other?
They were. Let's see here.
Yeah, it looks like the foreigners disappeared around the same time time frame.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't come into the U.S. at the same time,
right.
but they ended up meeting up in the same area at the same time.
Well, Route 70 is kind of long, but it's probably this all happened in the reservation area, right?
Yeah.
Let me.
So we have 13 missing people.
Yep.
Damn.
I'm rather fond of that number, by the way, as far as running stuff. But
Yeah. So if Chief Colorado's can bring out a map, and he'll show you a couple of things. So San Carlos Lake is right here, where the Martin and Stoltz camp is right here near Coolidge Dam. The Gay Ranch is just north of Calva, right around here.
Mm-hmm.
The abandoned tourist cars were right about here.
And they were together, or they were close together.
Not together, but close enough. Royos' disappearance was just west of Geronimo.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Kirtley's car was right here.
Okay.
So they're 3 kilometers of each other.
Yeah. And sorry, the other, and okay, so those were all the cars.
Yeah.
The other ones disappeared from their
Fishing spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one over here.
Okay.
And then, so the timing of them, let me just turn to my reference.
And Felix, he was a gas station attendant. No note about a car being found, so he just up and vanished.
I mean, it's kind of all over as well, too, because like the Kirtley's car was found here, if July 4th. Royos was a little further west of Geronimo. The next was the reservoir, right around here, where Martin and Stoltz went missing. The cars were found east of Geronimo. And then the Begay Ranch is north of Calva, up here.
No obvious pattern by timeline.
No. Although all the cars were in about the same area. So, yeah, if all the cars were in the same area, I'd be curious to see that area first, probably, just to kind of get an idea if there's like an obvious place for an ambush, anything like that.
Well, the Stoltz and Martin disappearance seems unrelated to the others because they happened over the other side. But
yeah,
what Garrett can tell you is that all 3 cars are at an Arizona Highway Patrol impound yard in Phoenix.
Okay.
So 2-hour drive to get there. But their forensic examinations of the vehicles, though, yielded nothing.
Okay.
Interesting.
And there was, like, they were unlocked. They were just abandoned, like as if they had gotten out and walked away.
Yeah.
Okay.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see that area. And that's just inside the reservation border. Okay, so that's going to make that interesting. Okay.
So what, when did you guys, I guess first off, any other questions about the summary or about the case that they developed thus far?
Well, one of them mentioned that I think it was Ed Stoltz has a wife and a child that was left behind. Yeah, Laverne Stoltz and Timothy.
Yeah.
We could ask them questions, but it's we'd hate to disturb them at the. What's the actual date today? Is it?
It would be August 1st.
Yeah, they've had time to process. We can definitely ask them questions if it comes down to it. But I think we should definitely
assume is that if there was any pertinent information from them, it likely would have been in this summary. I mean, process obviously is an important thing for the FBI.
Yeah, but the question I have about that one is, so they said that they disappeared on July 10th, so that was a day trip. Do we know, did they ever find the vehicle?
For theirs,
was it at the camp?
It would have been, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they said they went down there at least once a month to go fishing.
Yeah, I was just curious sorry, I missed that camp undisturbed bit. So yeah, it would have been there.
At least 20 kilometers away, so yeah.
But that's also quite it's about 5 days off from when the other one, when the cars, it's in between the two that the cars were disappeared. So, I mean, the fact that the camp's undisturbed, it makes me think that there's still some similarity between the two, but I don't know what the difference is between the cars and why those individuals would be missing.
Maybe a tangent, but do we know if they went out on the actual lake in order to fish, or were they shore fishermen?
They would have been out on the lake.
Did we recover a boat?
Boat was recovered. There was no.
Okay.
So that was.
So probably found empty on the lake, or was it at the site?
Empty at the lake.
Okay, that's disturbing.
So it was in the middle of the lake.
No. It was at the where their campsite would be. Campsite was undisturbed.
Okay.
So boat would have been ready to take out for fishing.
Okay.
Wasn't.
Right.
Okay. So they have not actually gone fishing yet, according to the records. Okay.
Or if they had, they'd brought it back for.
They brought it back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Stoltz and Martin, what was that campsite?
It's odd that they just wandered off. It seems like every one of them wandered off.
Yep.
The cars that were left abandoned, were they at a gas station? Were they at a little kind of parking lot?
Side of the highway.
Side of the highway.
And again, this is what the side of the highway looks like for that stretch of Route 70.
Yeah, right. And then look outside. I would not want to be out there without air conditioning.
Yikes, on bikes.
Well, in particular, some of those folks were young, but like a 70-year-old retired, former Shell executive.
I want to ask Colorado's if there are any local. Sorry, I know that's within the reservation. If there are basically any habitation near that location? People
not directly.
No, okay.
We're not living like it's the old West, but it's we're still pretty spread out.
Yeah, okay.
So folks, not near there, no.
No, okay.
Oh, that was just outside of town.
Can we tell what direction they were going? Were they going into the reservation or out of the reservation?
They were heading at least for, all the vehicles would have been heading to the southeast.
Mhm.
And in particular, the Van Olsens had a reservation at the Grand Canyon, which would have been south east of Route 70.
So it happened just basically as they entered the reservation. Yeah. Okay.
Nothing wrong with the cars. No pop tires, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And if it's a flat area, I'm not sure we'd find a whole lot, but I still think it might be worth going there just to, especially with your expertise, Dr. Butler, to see if there's anything that they may have missed.
Definitely want to get eyes on it, but if there's nothing to be found, I'm not going to be much help.
Yeah. But
so
this is maybe when Garrett sort of interjects once again and says that we're happy to have forensic and information gathering resources of the FBI on this, but understand the FBI ain't the one running the show here. Whatever you're doing, I expect to be informed of your developments in the case on a regular basis.
Absolutely. We have we're not here to hide anything from you, sir.
And
in fact, would you like to come along with us?
Mm.
he says, "Now, I've seen it. You just keep me apprised."
Perfect.
And Chief Colorado says, if you're going in the reservation, it'd be best if I came too. Nobody is thrilled to have the feds on Apache land.
Mm.
But if there's someone dangerous that's around here, the Begays were Apache.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's before we head out, let's make sure we bring at least 5 gallons of water with us.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a hot day.
Yep.
Any other questions of Major Garrett or Chief Colorados or?
I don't think so. Not anybody else.
Well, maybe just like how well he knew some of the people missing, especially the Ed Stoltz and Chris Martin, because they said they're locals, right?
Locals of Phoenix.
Okay.
Okay.
Just-
Yeah, one of them worked in Tempe, Arizona. One of them was out from Phoenix, but both are originally from Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, I just figured since they were here, like at least, they don't come here once a month to fish. It's just wherever they want to go, right?
Yeah, and the San Carlos. I mean, it's not far off of the San Carlos reservation, or San Carlos Lake is outside of Apache land.
Mm.
And Kev, where was the Begays Ranch again?
The Begay Ranch is north of Calva, and Chief Colorado says he'll bring you there if you like.
Okay. We're in Peridot right now, right? So
That's right. No, you're in San Carlos.
San Carlos. Okay.
Right there.
I was thinking Peridot.
Peridot's where you turn to
Yeah.
take Route 6 up to San Carlos.
Mm.
So I suggest that he looks at Dr. Butler as well, that maybe we, I'm just thinking that the ranch, I mean, mind you, this has been a couple of weeks, but anything on the ground in where the cars were taken by...
You ever been on a ranch before?
No.
So, July, August. 4 weeks is enough time to turn up the ground enough that you're not going to find anything.
Yeah. Well, I would suggest that maybe we get down to where the vehicles were taken and see what we can find there. Obviously, with Chief Colorados helping us out there, and then if we have time, maybe stop by the ranch again on the way back.
Yeah, and it figures getting into the reservation, then we should have an escort and then work our way west again.
Yeah. maybe spend as much time as we can out in that area. I doubt that there. How long does it take to go from San Carlos down to, I guess, Geronimo?
So let's see.
Yeah, kind of made everything to scale, so it's
Nice.
This is actually with the to give credit where it's due. This is the Roll20 module for it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They have everything loaded. Half hour.
Okay, so that's not that long. Yeah, I say we.
What Chief Colorado says is that if we do want to go up to the Big A Ranch, maybe it's best we take my Bronco.
Okay.
Your sedan isn't. You may have some difficulty with some of the roads leading up there.
I have faith in Turner. He's been pretty good so far, but I'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you guys have a plan. Major Garrett, having said his piece, having heard everything too, you would see you guys going out. Are you okay taking Chief Colorado's Bronco, or at least to the ranch?
I think we should have at least bring the sedan with us, and if just because it's a company vehicle, we'll just park it to where we can't use it and come back for it.
Yeah, sounds good.
And that'll give Agent Wood and him time to talk mano a mano and Apache if they need to.
Sure.
Yeah. Agent Wood, you said you've got a quite good persuade, right?
He is, what did I say, 60? Yeah.
Okay, so I think once Major Garrett is gone, Chief Colorado's will turn to you in Apache and say, there's something else that's not in the file that I didn't think would get anything. Arizona State Police isn't going to be able to do anything with this.
Okay.
Victorio has a neighbor, an old Apache, a man named John Rope. And John told me after Victoria went missing that he thought somebody had been stealing his sheep over the last 2 months.
The
night before he disappeared, Victorio told John that he was going to sit out all night with his rifle until he caught the culprit.
Victoria was going to sit out with him. Okay.
The night before Victoria and his whole family went missing, he said he was going to sit out with his rifle, keep an eye out for whoever was stealing his sheep. Whoever was stealing the sheep, there was nothing left behind.
Right.
If it was coyotes or something like that, there's always carcasses you can find. Vic said that there was nothing left behind. Someone was taking them.
Yep.
And
so Vic did stay out, but that was the night that he went missing.
John told me it was the night before he went missing is when he said he was going to sit up all night with his gun.
And then he told John afterwards that nothing had happened. Okay, sorry. So the night before, right, he said he was going to stay out that night. That's the night he went missing. Okay.
Yeah.
His whole family went missing.
Now, I can talk to... You can talk to John.
Yeah.
He isn't like feds. And the only reason he may speak to you is... And he kind of gestures because you're still speaking in Apache.
Yeah. So, sir, would you be happy to join me in talking to him?
Kind of studies you for a bit.
Sure.
Yeah, I can provide the introduction.
Great.
We're up at the Begay Ranch. We can drive over to John's property. And he's kind of pauses. He's like, it's doubly for the best that we're taking Bronco then.
Great.
If he sees a federal vehicle. Your car coming up? We wouldn't want Wounded Knee, too.
All right.
So you transitioning back into English. Anything else?
No, I think we have our plan. I mean, it doesn't sound like we're going to find much around where the cars were. I'm sure that if Major Garrett is still nearby, he makes sure his voice is pitched high enough to say, it's like, I mean, if there's anything.
He left.
Okay,
Not knowing that he said his piece, he established authority.
Yeah.
Chief Colorados would only share that information about John Rope with you after he had gone.
Okay, sure. So, anyways, I mean, I'm sure that that area has been picked over pretty good, and I doubt we'll be spending a lot of time there. So then we could have some time to talk to John, and afterwards when we get up to the Big A Ranch. Maybe you and I could go up separately, and the other two could check out the ranch, because I'm not all that big on the forensics aspect. But he's kind of like maybe talking with the group in the general plan, and says, "Yeah, we have another lead that I want to check out. Chief Colorados mentioned, so we'll go on up while you check out the ranch after, if that's okay with you guys." Sure. Okay.
And chat.
And during the drive with Turner, Butler's over there just speaking into a recorder and verbally notating their notes so far.
Good. All right. Anything else you wish to do in San Carlos before heading out to the ranch?
There was and the gas station guy was in San Carlos?
No, that was just west of Colorados. So the Kirtley's car was found just outside the reservation, right here.
Yeah.
The Felix Royos was around here at a gas station on the highway, and then the tourist vehicles were around here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yep.
Then, you guys, Agent Wood, are you're riding with the chief, and then the other two are riding in your sedan until you get to the point where you're going to swap over to the Bronco?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, then we guys are already at our mid-session break.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So let's take our mid-session break, and then we'll come back and see what happens next. So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Great.
Wow. That's a good one. You can start. Wow. More coffee?
All right, I am unmuted. Hey, everybody in chat. Hope you are having a wonderful start to your Saturday. Sean, what's going on? THX, howdy, howdy. Forgetful Paladin, hope you're having a great Saturday. Thanks for joining us. The game seems so interesting. I love this. I love this game. I love this adventure. It's been a long time since I've run Delta Green, and just getting familiar with the... I like Call of Cthulhu 7th edition quite a bit as well, but Delta Green just hits that perfect, nostalgia, X-Files kind of vibe, and some of the decisions they made in the gameplay or the setup for the game mechanics is just, it really seems to fit. Gunplay in particular in this is really interesting. There's also a critical hit mechanic, kind of that, or critical success mechanic that's present in this that isn't in 7th edition, and that reminds me of Warhammer Fantasy 4th, to be honest. So, just checking in with chat, John.
I haven't played an investigative game in a while. This is pretty fun.
It's really, yeah, and like the thing, it's funny because I used to use Delta Green as my game to introduce people who had not, like, this is before D&D became such a kind of like well-known thing to the wider thing. But for people who hadn't played RPGs before, Delta Green was the one I always used as my intro, because like it's real easy to understand. Anybody who's watched a police procedural knows how to sort of like what the job is and what the story is involving a FBI investigation, and you just add horror shit into that, and then you have your thing. But
yeah, I'm looking through all the summary facts. I'm seeing patterns and things linking up. But there's one that's an outlier. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that one, but it's probably important.
Well, the handouts, as Robert said too, like the handouts in this game and in Call of Cthulhu, like it really does make the play experience even all the better, because you've got these cool, in-universe things. I have on the shelf a whole box full of extra props for use in one of these mega campaigns for Call of Cthulhu. And yeah, like it just having that extra shit that adds to the immersion is really fucking cool.
I could imagine face to face them doing a, you have the big board and you just like pin this stuff.
Yeah.
I saw an online play where they actually had I don't know if they were using Roll20 or something else, but they had like a virtual, board. They could
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's I was telling John before you get back, like this was the game I used to introduce people to role playing who had never played before. Mm-hmm. Because just it's such a, this is before Delta Green. It was its own individual game, but using Call of Cthulhu rules with Delta Green, with this adventure in particular, everybody knows how to, like, what the expectations are in terms of seeing a successful adventure through with a police procedural.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I could completely see that you could just use Delta Green as a straight up police procedural rather than with the horror stuff. So
yep, absolutely, yeah.
In fact, as I'm playing this, it's like, okay, I'm completely in the mode of this is just police procedural stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's a good. That's something that was so good about the first framing too, because like in Call of Cthulhu in general, there's always a little bit of like, well, why the fuck would I keep investigating this, element? Unless you're thrown into things, there's always going to be a point where your character, in particular for characters that aren't journalists, that aren't private investigators, where you're like, all right, like it makes no sense for my character, the heiress, to continue investigating this thing, but I'm going to do it because I want to play this game.
Yeah,
Delta Green takes away that unnecessary bit of like extra.
Part of the job.
Yeah, waving something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because you got to, it's your job. Okay, so then, guys, getting back to the highway. Any conversation amongst yourselves before you reach the Big A Ranch?
Well, big question is, does Turner allow Butler to take control of the radio?
Darn tootin'.
At least until you prove that you're not trustworthy with your...
No. R&B and reggae mix songs are height of the popular charts right now. We're bumping on the road.
Fantastic.
The idea was that also that that would be with Colorado's where I'm going the way up. So he's he Wood is basically going through the the stuff that he has in front of him and trying to figure out any obvious patterns. He's still very curious about the two groups of foreigners meeting up at the same point, and so he's making a mental note at least to see if he can follow up on. Man, I wish we had the internet. If I check these guys' social networks to see if they were friends or whatnot, but he's trying to think of ways that he could get some of that information, like if these guys knew each other.
The age difference between because I think the Dutch are
the
20s,
yeah,
right?
and then the 60s. That's the one thing that was throwing me. It's like.
One of the things that Butler's expecting at this point, she would have shared before, they split ways, is the gas station attendant with the criminal record. It's possible all the cars hit that one gas station at the same time. It could have been marked for something. Yeah. And then the kid took off afterwards or something.
Oh, yeah. Great minds think alike. Wondered with that connection as well.
Yeah, cool. That's a good thought.
We should. I'm not sure if you said gas stations may not have like video over cameras like banks do in the 90s.
Will not, no, especially not.
To ask to see if they remember seeing the families, or it's a long shot though.
I feel like individuals' memories might be a little bit stronger than they would be these days with remembering faces or perhaps even
that. And we deal with cash, so we need to bribe somebody.
My wallet is padded. I think all the cigarettes I'm purchasing is.
You'd be like, "What's this expense for? This is petty money. We had to eat."
I think Wood would also be talking to Colorado's a bit, just trying to get an idea about how the Apache families live on the reservation and like what just in general what the day-to-day life is like and.
So let me bring you to. So this is the actual reservation itself. You want to get a sense of what, what life is like living on the San Carlos. This is on the reservation itself proper.
Yeah. And like what the major gathering areas are, what they do for recreation. Like, are there. Like basically, like I'm of course thinking of like more of a fantasy type thing, but is there effectively a place where they hang out after work, or a couple places like that, or if it's mostly people to themselves?
What Chief Colorado's would want to know is like what are you thinking? Like why?
I'm just curious. Well, he says, I'm not even really thinking anything. I'm curious about how people on the reservation live, and it's just
sure. Give us a persuade roll.
Yeah,
I'm just curious how this will be taken.
Yeah, he kind of brings up his own things like he does after like he hangs out with like a local family. Once in a while, I might go out.
I'll leave it to the dice to dictate how Colorado's is going to take that.
Persuade. So just click on that.
Yeah. So he sees where it's coming from, and he nods and he says, "I mean, I don't think it's so different from friends hanging around with friends. There's a bar. We have sports. We hunt.
Yeah. What do you guys hunt?
The desert deer, I guess. I actually don't. I really don't know myself. But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Well, he just says, when he answers back what they go after.
Anything that moves on four legs and sometimes two.
Yeah. My dad would probably love to come down here and hunt with,
Yeah, I'm thinking of like the opening sequence of No Country for Old Men with Josh Brolin's character out hunting. You saw a deer in the middle of fucking nowhere in the desert.
Yeah. It's like my dad would probably love hanging out and helping, or not helping, but shooting some.
Yes,
critter.
Is there a reason that Sam made his way up to Montana as opposed to like buying a rural, patch of land in Arizona?
I would say he probably. I would add this a little bit to it. I think he might be a little bit on the, a little bit conservative, maybe a little bit. I'll use a word. He's probably a little bit racist and whatnot, and maybe necessarily like the area. Due to that, also saw that his son was kind of, the neighbors nearby were a family he wouldn't have approved of, that he had, so just kind of in general, a lot of little things started building up, like this is not really my area anymore. And maybe he wasn't like that when he was younger, but he had some stuff. And so that's a little bit of friction between him
and with you acting for the as an agent for the FBI too.
Yeah.
I just double check the date of it. Ruby Ridge is 3 years before the time of our adventure.
Okay.
So, if you're not familiar with that, Ruby Ridge was an armed standoff between federal agents and a family, and that led to a whole bunch of deaths. Really. An important, in the sense of, an important time in sort of the relationship between like American militias and federal law enforcement. So,
right. Yep. So,
and this is post Waco as well, right? Because Waco was in the earlier 90s, I think.
It's interesting. I was just reading in there's the conspiracy book for that. I was reading about the timeline, and I think I remember that being just before this.
Yeah, Waco Siege, 93 as well.
Yeah.
It was 92 for Ruby Ridge, 93 for Waco. So the distrust of government is a big part of sort of the zeitgeist for this. So him moving to Montana, and you working for the FBI, there's going to be an interesting dynamic between the two.
Yeah, and I mean, he would still wants to maintain the relationship. You remember his, playing catch with his dad, all that other stuff, and they had a good relationship, but it's been drifting.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, he's genuinely interested in what's, and what life on the reservation is like, and not, just from the perspective of he likes to know how different people live and areas. So,
yeah.
Like he'd be just as interested if he was up in New York City, and he'd probably be asking cab driver the same kind of stuff.
Is Wood the only child, or does he have any siblings?
I believe he's probably the only child. Yeah, because I haven't. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, anything else you guys wish to discuss before you swap vehicles? To get to Rope's farm. You're going to need to pass the Begay Ranch anyway. I mean, ranch. It wouldn't be a farm, it'd be a ranch. Turner, Butler, what's going on in your car other than fighting over not fighting, I guess, over the music?
I think she's just discussing some of her thoughts about, who we need to talk to next, because Enrico, the brother to the missing gas station attendant, we could talk to him to see what he knows, because he Grand Theft Auto, twice. Yeah. I just can't help but shake that something weird's going on.
Right. Besides for talking to him, I think both of us are kind of chatting about, what's it called? Agent Turner's fingers rapping off the steering wheel to the tunes that Dr. Butler set up for us.
Typical white FBI agent bumping to, reggae RB.
One thing that's worth noting, Dr. Butler would be, for the time, an unusual, not unusual necessarily, but would be a bit of a standout as far as a woman working for the FBI and a person of color working for the FBI.
Yeah. Well, somebody's got to earn the money to take care of grandma because everybody else has kids and she doesn't. So,
how does Dr. Butler feel working as a physician for the FBI? That's a particular choice. Not a lot of folks go to med school expecting to be, law enforcement.
I think she kind of wanted to. She saw it as a more stable path to, not like safety wise, but as far as to make money and get a stable pension and to retire early. She's here for 20 years and she's done. That's her goal.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
She's very goal oriented, and her goal is to get enough money to create a stable cushion to take care of grandma, and then when she eventually passes, maybe take up the same role.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And for Turner, how's he feel being sort of seconded to work with? It would be unusual for this type of case for you to have like a behavioral sciences person. This is kind of like if there's a serial killer or something like that, like that's where you would bring in someone like Wood. And Dr. Butler, you would bring in for pathology. You would bring him in if there's bodies to examine or things like that. So you've got not a partner who is from the same background as you, investigative and whatnot. You've got two specialists from other kind of branches within the FBI. How's Turner feel about having such unusual pairings with him? Particularly given the facts that you know right now.
Right.
Like if you look at the facts as they are, missing people, there's no reason to have a behavioral specialist unless someone knows something that they haven't told you. There's no reason to have a pathologist with you unless there's something they haven't told you.
Right.
How's Turner feeling about that, or does it bug him at all?
I would say Turner's kind of just rolling with emotions. I don't think the gravity of all the details and how the dots are connected together have quite set in fully just yet. It's kind of just another case with a couple of new cohorts, and interestingly enough, I think that what's it called? Not only with Butler in the car with me, but with her on our squad, I suppose, for lack of better terms. With my bonds, I kind of set up for Agent Turner. It kind of fits his realm of comfortability fairly nicely with his ex-partner being a woman of color in the field as well, and what's it called? His ex-wife being of Mexican descent as well. I think it kind of suits really well. So he's quickly fallen into a groove, I suppose, with Dr. Butler, and is what's it called? Yeah, with a calm sense of comfort, I suppose, that might be expected of an atypical FBI agent. I think Turner's just rolling with emotions and absorbing the information, and looking forward to seeing where this case goes and how Wood. I think it's fairly clear that Wood and Butler have kind of taken the head of the case so far and are definitely showing their strengths very quickly in the investigational abilities. But
based on that, it's no wonder we didn't fight over the radio. You got some soul. And speaking of, now that Kev, you mentioned that we have a behavioral specialist, a forensic biologist, and straight next to FBI agent, she's beginning to think they expect us to find bodies, a lot of bodies, and that something has happened to them.
Yeah.
So
it would be unusual for the FBI to not share information if they did have it. So like if you're thinking, well, why wouldn't if there's a reason for why we're putting this together team, why would you because process is such a big thing with the FBI, it would not be inappropriate for you to be suspicious why they haven't justified having you with these two specialists sort of assigned to this case.
I would assume that it's because they don't want to taint any kind, throw any kind of bias or taint towards our investigation. If they are withholding information. Yeah,
so confirmation bias certainly is a thing to be aware of and any investigator worth their salt would be wanting to, avoid falling into that trap.
Especially with how easy it is to get cases dismissed.
Yeah.
So, It's about maybe 20 minutes before you guys reach kind of a point in the highway where you can see Chief Colorados has kind of pulled the Bronco over. Lets the others get in. You're gonna be sitting in the back where the suspects would be too, behind that metal grating for Dr. Turner, or for Turner and Dr. Butler. And then you begin driving up the road, and the vehicle probably would have had no difficulty with it, but it wouldn't have been a pleasant ride to get up here. Like, the road's pretty intact from it. See, I don't think the screen has... Oh, it does! Look at this, guys. I was about to slander the screen for not having a full skill list in it, and it fucking does. Love it.
Hot dog.
This is one of my running complaints / jokes on the channel, Jaden, is that when role-playing games that are skill-focused RPGs have a GM screen that does not have a skill list on it. It drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Let's have everybody give us an alertness check, please.
Alertness.
1 dice. That's hot. Where's my guy? I have such a hard time, like, picking out my character from the names. It's like they seem known, like, my fantasy character names, I know instantly who's mine because they're so unusual, right? It's not like, oh yeah, it's Lewis Wood, Donald Turner. I'm like, okay, what am I?
Yeah, picking out a grandma's name was hard. Yeah, Edna had like...
Remember, if you do fail a skill check too, remember to put a little tick. There's a little tick next to there. Critical success for Agent Wood.
Hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what was highest at 70.
Yeah, only when you fail is when you tick it, though. So you guys are driving along, and everyone is in the vehicle together. You're bumping your way up the road to get to the Begay Ranch. Wood, you were the first one to notice this. Out to the left, in the direction of where the Begay Ranch would be, or the lands of it, you can see circling in the sky a bunch of vultures.
As soon as he says that, he says, I think change of plans. He and he points for Colorado's to look. He says, can you get their attention? I don't know, I don't know which one is leading the way. Probably, I would guess Colorado's. That says, pop your hazards and pull over. Maybe.
So he does, puts the lights on, and if you step out, with a critical, what you can tell, Wood, looking out over here, this is not a matter of like vultures circling over one specific area where there's presumably some kind of carcass or something like that. This is spread out over the course of like a half kilometer.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a couple of different places where these things are circling.
Yeah. So it is, repatriates get out. I mean, based on their successes, I'm sure that they saw the vultures, and he kind of points to them, and then he says what he said. He's like, look how large an area they're circling. I think change of plans. Yes.
Would it be worth... I wonder if me and Dr. Butler investigated on foot, ? While you go talk to the gentleman that you guys were hoping to chat with? That make any sense?
Good plan. I did bring my hiking shoes.
Is that on the way? Is it between the two locations?
So the chief would say, like, if there's bodies here, we're dealing with this. John's going to be there when we need him.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say this might need all of our eyes. But yeah, no, good thought. But I think I want to see this too.
Not to mention law enforcement coming to somebody's land without a warrant. We don't want another Waco incident.
Oh, yeah.
They're missing. The Begay family's missing, so we don't need anybody's permission here.
Okay.
All right.
So, if you guys sort of spread out, Wood is correct that there is a bunch of things. I think Butler and Turner, Dr. Butler and Turner, what you would see is there's obviously some things circling the sky. Wood's correct that there is a bunch of different locations that they seem to be circling over. it is not long before you get to the first of what will eventually turn out to be 26 unearthed graves that are spread out across the family, across the property. Of those 26 graves, 25 of those are for sheep.
Huh.
The other is a mass grave for the entire Begay family. Now, if someone could give us a survival check, please. Whoever's got the highest survival.
We got a 10.
I'm a 10 as well.
Mine might be reasonably high. Survival. Do for that. No, I'm a 10.
What about search?
Look at us go.
I got a 16 search.
40.
70.
Nice.
Turner, give us a search roll, please.
Take for a spin. I'll take it.
Do we help each other in these?
I can't remember if there is an aid another mechanic, but I think I'm just going to pick one person to roll for it. Yeah. So what you see, Turner, what you can tell is that these things have been uncovered. It's clearly like from the dust and dirt and whatnot that is on these, someone has uncovered each of these carcasses, including the mass grave. And insects and vultures have started to go to work on this, but like there is clear dirt and dust that is on the bodies. So someone has uncovered these. All 26 graves.
Yeah.
And the curious thing, Turner, you can see there's coyote tracks around each of the graves.
So
what is your human score? Your skill.
Mine is very high. That is a 80.
Yeah, so you need not make a check for it. What you can see is when Turner points out, like we would maybe see him look down, he's like, are these coyote tracks? And Wood, looking over at Colorado's, you would see that Colorado's is obviously disturbed with the uncovering of the sheep, more disturbed with the family. He is further disquieted by these being coyote tracks here. Do you have any training in anthropology?
No.
Wood? No, okay.
Which, basically how I've been playing him probably indicates that I probably should have put something there. But
So he seems particularly disturbed about that. There are also bodies here. Anyone have any science with respect to animal behavior? Well, what was yours?
I got biology.
Yeah, give us a biology check, please, Dr. Butler. So this uncovering bodies and sort of seemingly leaving them, other than what's being disturbed by insects and by vultures, that's kind of unheard of behavior for a coyote.
I expect we got the wind-up snap pictures or cameras with us.
Polaroids.
I think Dr. Butler's going to start. The sheep graves don't really interest her, but she's going to be taking pictures as she does stuff with it.
So when we, when we first find the bodies and whatnot, they are not that attacked. Yeah, you said there are insects and vultures on them, but it doesn't look like this has been going on for very long, because otherwise they would probably have them stripped within a day.
Yeah, the Begays have been missing maybe a week, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Dr. Butler, what's your forensics score?
Forensics is a 70.
Okay, so you're not going to make a roll. So one of the things with the auto successes is you can choose to roll at any point that I'm going to give you an auto success, because if you fail, that's when you get that 1d4, and you can also get a critical by rolling doubles. So there is an element of risk reward. Otherwise, I think there's certain threshold information you're just going to get. from this. But if you would choose to roll, feel free to do that. Remember, we're playing with the optional roll. Spend 1d4 willpower and re-roll if you got to fail. So you're not stuck with fails necessarily. Dr. Butler, assuming that you're going to take a quick peek at the bodies, a full autopsy would be required to understand what's gone on. But there are there are multiple needle-like wounds on each of the bodies of the Begays, and none of the bodies show signs of lividity that come with blood settling at the lowest point in the body after death. If you're looking at this, it seems as if the human bodies, and if you examine the sheep as well, they have been entirely drained of blood.
Well, she makes some comment about, well, that's weird as shit.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Yeah. And the fact that the coyotes did not drag the bodies is, to me, seems unusual. I mean, I'm not a biologist. I'm not a scientist, Turner says. Wood says.
Butler's quite good at forensics as well. When Turner points out the... Turner, how are you at forensics?
Let's see. I got a 30.
30? Okay.
Not useless, but not
why don't you guys
ideal.
roll on forensics,
Okay.
Turner? Let's see. Yeah, because if you fail, you get to tick the box anyway. Okay, so tick the box, and just remember at the end of the session, you're going to raise that. This is in respect to the tracks. But yeah, Dr. Butler, examining, I mean, this is assuming this is going to take place over basically the rest of the afternoon, is Dr. Butler examining this and whatnot. An autopsy will certainly reveal more, but do you have any other questions about things from the initial scene?
I think Wood is going to... He took a note of Colorado seeming disquieted, and instead of asking him right then, because he knows that sometimes when people need a little bit of time to process something, and so he waits a bit. Maybe after the needle marks are noticed, he kind of wanders over to Colorado's and he said, "What's your take on this? The coyote?" And he brings up, he says, the vultures. It looks like this happened recently. The coyotes, but they're still in the graves. It doesn't look like they've been. Does it look like coyotes? Like they've been pulled apart, the bodies at all yet, or not? Yeah, at all.
So there's where the insects have got to, and the vultures, the coyotes don't seem to have disturbed the bodies. They seem to have just uncovered them.
Yeah, it's like what do you think's going on? I've never heard of coyotes doing this.
So where you find Chief Colorado's is he's standing a little further away from one of the graves, and he points away from it as well, and he says, "Look, the tracks go from the grave, and then they vanish 100 yards out." This has been every one of them.
Yeah. And are there the tracks between the graves? Does it look like the coyotes went from grave to grave, or is it like they came from outside, then went back out, vanished, like individually on each grave?
Each individual grave, the coyote tracks do not extend beyond 100 yards, and it is not a sequential chain of the graves. They're all across the property.
So this had to have happened. I mean, somebody would have noticed this before this. He goes over, points this out to the others.
Said it was over a period of 2 months that his sheep went missing. If they weren't disturbed beforehand, they may have been buried on his property and he wouldn't have known.
Yeah, the wrenches are quite large if you're not walking them every day.
I kind of feel like I need to make a sanity roll or something. That seems fairly...
You superstitious?
Well, no, I'm just thinking this is. I mean, like if this were, again, I'm not an FBI agent, but
yeah, sure. Give us a just give us a sanity check.
Butler's a little suspicious.
The loss on a success will be 0, on a fail will be 1 sanity.
Okay. I'm surprised that this wasn't. Sorry, my sanity. Is that sanity points? Yeah. I need to make.
I think there should be a button for. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay.
Oh,
success. Yep. So you're disturbed by it, but you don't lose anything.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, no, it is disquieting. Like you can see now that he's mentioned it, you can see that like these tracks appear, and it doesn't appear like there's dozens. Like it is like a single coyote.
Huh.
It seems physically impossible. Coyotes, if you haven't seen one in real life, like they're a little bigger than what you expect. When you do actually see them, but they're not like fucking wolves or even like large dogs. Like they're big. They're not like tiny the way that you think of like a fox or something like that. But a single coyote uncovering all of this, suffice it to say, when they found the Begays missing and they came here, none of this was here.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that none of this was here yesterday. Otherwise, somebody would have reported it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's possible they had been here, but these things got uncovered recently, which is why the vultures are here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't imagine that this has been like this for more than a day.
In which case, how does a single coyote uncover 25, graves for sheep carcasses across a property and a mass grave for 4 humans?
He's not a forensics guy. But he does look at the way the graves were uncovered. Does it look like it's like a dogwood, like in one direction, or is it like a kind of a circle of dirt around it?
It's in a circle. Like it has worked around to uncover.
Interesting.
Which seems unusual as well.
Definitely.
So
far too methodical.
These, you would be forgiven for thinking like it was intentional to make these exposed. This is not a matter of like uncovering a face and then gnawing at whatever's there.
Yeah.
They have fully excavated each of these graves, including the mass grave.
Yeah.
What he says then in Apache to you, Wood, is that coyotes are considered spiritually unclean animals and should be avoided in Apache traditional beliefs. And whether that's because they, anthropologists will say that it's because they carry communicable diseases, so it's just good practice, but more spiritual people will tell you it's because they are spiritually polluted.
Yeah, I think it's, out of character. It's common that scavengers and those that eat the dead aren't well looked upon in spiritual matters.
Yeah. Like you say, there's a practical element to some of those beliefs, right?
Yeah.
Like spiritually cleansing yourself too, right? Like that has a practical element to religious components to it.
Although, sorry, not to get too far afield. Sorry, never mind. I'm almost completely off topic.
Butler isn't like well immersed in the local superstitions of the area. And she's not very superstitious at all. So she's just looking at this clinical kind of like mindset.
Right.
She's going to figure out what happened to the bodies rather than what happened around the area. So
perhaps a repeat question, but the damage to the sheep and the mass grave, is it just look to track that it's just insect and vulture damage, or does it look like said coyote was doing some damage on his excavation as well?
What Dr. Butler, you can tell just from this preliminary examination, is that each of the bodies, including the sheep carcasses, have multiple needle-like wounds.
Okay, so it was those needle wounds where they...
So what it looks like is insects are just hand in hand with natural decay, and then the vultures, or whenever these got uncovered, they started to come down and peck at them a bit.
Yeah, of note, there are no obvious wounds that you could attribute to coyote.
With their lividity being, so low and the blood gone, decay would have been slower. It's like mummification, or what do they call it? When you drain all the moisture from a body.
How far away are we from? Sorry. How far away are we from John Rope? He asked. Yes.
One ranch over.
One ranch over. He may have seen something. I think it would be a good time to check with him. Do you guys want to stay here while we go over, or do you want to come with?
Well, I don't think we have the equipment to move 4 bodies and 35 sheep.
No, and Colorado's just called in his deputy from the thing to bring out. They're going to have to transport these bodies.
Yes, Colorado's. Are we able to do that now, or should we wait until this is all, until your people get here?
Yeah.
While, I mean, I can leave Turner and Butler here if you want to come and speak to John.
Yeah, we'll maintain control of the evidence.
Yeah, and it's a matter of like half an hour at most for them to get out to bring the supplies, right? Because it's all pretty close here.
No, I'm going to take a few more pictures just to make sure.
Yeah.
They're also going to need to contact Garrett because this is not on. This isn't on Apache land. It's outside the reservation.
Right.
Fortunately for him, our phone's in our car, and that's down at the bottom of the hills.
And like you can get up here, like it's a bit bumpy and whatnot. You'll be able to get the vehicle up here. It's really just a matter of, if you got into a chase or something, that's when things would get really hairy. Yeah, but you're just trying to push for more people to buy Jeeps. I mean,
Subarus.
I have my niche, so. Then.
All right. Why don't Eddie? He was at Colorado, so why don't we go up and talk to John, what's the last name? Rope. John Rope. Yeah.
John Rope. Okay. Yeah. Turner and Butler, anything you guys wish to do while Wood and Chief Colorado's are heading up to speak to John Rope?
Oh, yeah. Butler, at this point, since we got the area, pretty much under control, she's going to start canvassing the area around and just taking a look at the tracks that just suddenly disappear and just taking pictures of it. Just like go full in, like depth of tracks, how far they move, try to get an idea of the area around.
Yep. You would have plaster as well in the vehicle, so you could take plaster casts.
Do that too.
Okay.
I'm going to get all the information I can because I don't know if there's going to be a local mortician that takes a look at him or if I need to perform an autopsy.
So looking at the map, so the Begay Ranch is outside of the reservation, so it's going to be jurisdictionally, it'll probably be the state police. So you get to deal with Frank Garrett again. Guys, lucky you!
Yay!
I think we left at exactly the right time, Colorado.
I think probably the nearest. What's to the south of here? I actually don't know how big Geronimo is. Or Geronimo's on the reservation land.
Yeah, that is big enough for have like an active hospital.
It is, but in which case, it's a question of whether.
Rob laughed so hard we lost him right off roll 20.
Yeah.
I think he hit a back button by mistake.
Globe, Arizona is just 20-minute drive. It's got a population of about 7,200 from the looks of things.
Kind of small.
Yeah, but not as small as like San Carlos. I don't know if San Carlos has a medical center either. I guess the question is whether you wish to have the autopsy performed on. Dr. Butler, I'm assuming you want to conduct the autopsy?
If there's nobody more qualified to do it, then yes.
Definitely not. And I think that Garrett, Garrett, that's going to be Well, we'll deal with him when he gets.
Yeah, I can already see the fact that, because respectfully, they're members of the reservation. Like they right? Shouldn't they?
They are Apache. Yeah, they're tribal. I think I don't know how it's referenced in the States, but I think it's tribal status.
So obviously they're going to want to be buried on tribal land.
Yeah, and then as far as the investigation, like the outcome of your report, because you're a federal investigator, I imagine it's not going to. That probably would mean it doesn't matter whether it's performed on the facilities at Geronimo or on the facilities at Globe or back in Phoenix.
If Garrett raises the fuss, we'll do it on state land. But I will make sure that any religious or tribal practices are maintained that doesn't violate their practice beliefs.
Okay. So this is another angle on the reservation. I thought would be a little change, but this is gonna be the terrain you're driving through to get to John Rope's farm. Reaching Rope's farm is sort of away from the Begay farm, and where there's like a farmhouse. There's what do you call it? Fenced-in area that would be for some livestock. There's horses, and getting to Rope's place looks like a very worn-down version of the other. John Rope is in his 70s. And I think you find him sitting on his patio when you guys drive up. And Chief, you've been promoted.
Special agent. Actually, that would probably be a demotion, I guess. But
that's chief. I mean, different branch, but chief of this one. So, Police Chief Colorados brings you over. And he says in Apache, so you'll understand it. Yeah. Hi, John. This is Special Agent Wood from the FBI. And John kind of is not really giving. He's got an incredible poker face, not giving any reaction. Looks up and he says, "Feds, here."
Wood says, and Wood, of course, says. Sorry, he lets them continue to talk for a word or two. Sorry.
Yeah. And he said, Chief Colorado says he wants to, in Apache again, wants to hear about the Victorio, but what he told you before. We found the bodies, John.
And at that, he would kind of, so it's kind of obvious that he was listening and he's understanding. He turns and he points at the vultures over the mass grave.
John kind of leans forward, nods, and he says in Apache, "Yeah, I saw that."
Mm-hmm. If Wood doesn't feel like Colorado's will mind, he then asks in Apache about what time did you see? What time did you see?
His eyes kind of open a little bit.
Yeah.
And he says in Apache,
"Yeah,
you have secrets, Fed."
Not for this. I speak it when those will listen who understand. Who can understand. I don't keep what I know from others by speaking it.
This morning's when I saw them.
When you first woke up? When you first looked? Okay. Or later in the morning?
There were some when the sheep Victor kept 200 head of sheep. And they all died of thirst when they went missing. So there were vultures then. He looks up at Alejandro and says, "Did you find the missing sheep too?" He nods.
And it was 1 sheep per grave?
Yeah, 25 missing sheep.
Yep.
And a flock of 200. What Chief Colorados would tell you, Wood, is that when they found the body, they found, of the 200, they found 175 dead of thirst.
Okay, got it. I hadn't known that part. Okay, all right, I didn't remember that part. He kind of points. He doesn't count them all out, but he says each group of vultures, that's one of your sheep missing.
Gosh.
And
Vic was right then.
Yeah. Did you hear coyotes last night or in the morning?
He has the same kind of disturbed look that Colorados has too.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, yeah.
1 or many? One.
Mm.
One finger speaks a lot of words.
Yes. So Wood's a little unsure, but he wants to know what Rope's reaction to it is. And he says, each one coyote appeared, didn't walk there. Within 100 yards, we see the tracks. Dug out the grave all the way around, didn't eat, didn't bite, and then walked 100 yards away, vanished. Each grave.
He turns to Colorados and second, trying to find something here, guys. Hey, Kev, didn't you say you had notes on this? Yeah, I know. Just don't. The conspiracy. It's seized my notes.
Over here, like locked in. I'm like, man, I wish last time we got to play the full session because we could be on part 2 now.
Oh, what he says is, you should speak to Chief Colorados, to Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Wood, you don't know who he's talking about, but you know the context. Palmer is not an Apache word. It's in the context proper noun.
Yeah.
And Colorados just kind of nods. Turns to you, Wood. Anything else in English?
I don't think so. Shakes his head. No, and he actually says that in Apache, and then he turns back to Rope, and he said, "Thank you, sir. We may ask other questions later if we think of them, if that is okay."
He looks at Colorados and thinks for a time. Nods his head.
All right. Yep. Now, I don't know if he... I don't know the answer to this. So is shaking hands a normal greeting for Apache, or...
Well, you're not Apache, so if you want to shake his hand, you could certainly... Yeah.
Yeah, he just reaches over without hesitation as he leaves. Says, "Thank you again."
Once again, John kind of looks up at Alejandro. Without getting up, he shakes your hand.
Okay.
Much more pleasant than Major Garrett's.
Yes. Right. Says, "All right, we should probably get back and help out the front, our others, especially if Major Garrett is there
so
on his way."
I guess my question is where would you like to, like, if you do want to gently sort of direct the jurisdictional issues, that's going to be a bureaucracy check, and I think Turner is pretty good at bureaucracy. I might be wrong about that.
I also have 50 in it.
You said you also have a 60?
50.
50. I am a 60.
We'll take the lead.
Here goes nothing.
So then where would you like to put that right on the number?
Yeah.
Your choice. Where would you guys like, with some discussion, they are going to send a forensics team out here to do an investigation of the area. And they're also going to transport the bodies. Where would you like them? You're going to be able to, with a successful bureaucracy role, you can dictate where you want those bodies to be.
Okay.
It'd be, socially and more advantageous for the nearest medical center, which would be on a reservation land.
Right.
I think probably Geronimo, yeah.
I like the sounds of that.
I mean, the way it is now, they've been desiccated, so they're not going to rot much more immediately. But in this heat, now that they're uncovered, whatever uncovered them was smart if it was trying to hide evidence. But for some reason, Dr. Butler's brain isn't going around that fact because it's a coyote. She can't ascribe human things to coyotes at this point.
It almost feels like, with the graves being dug up and displayed in such a manner, Turner's feeling it's very intentional, like somebody's trying to send us a message.
Yeah. And it happened this morning, so before we even got here. So.
Right?
Yeah, I would assume by this point Wood's back and he's relayed that information.
It will take a couple hours for the Stadies to get out here. In the interim, they could transport the Begays if it's been decided over radio. You'd have to drive back actually to make the call, wouldn't you?
We have to get back to our sedan.
It's a short call, yeah. So,
I mean, yeah.
So Geronimo seems like it's not an actual. It's in what's called a populated area. It's marked on there, but at least from what Wikipedia tells me, Geronimo, Arizona is a populated place located on Highway 70 between Belis and Fort Thomas, west of Safford in Graham County. So let's take a look at the map here. So actually, it may not have facilities necessary. Belis is an unincorporated community of about 1,900.
Unincorporated, like my town where I have a house in Montana.
Yeah.
I don't have to follow many of the regulations because of that.
Peridot's got 1,100 or so. So Loeb actually might be the nearest place.
Yeah. Might have to take him to Globe.
Yeah, let's just see what Safford. Safford's got a population of 10,000.
That's big enough for a hospital to be present.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be, and then let's see where Safford is in relation to. Yeah, Safford's it's further down the highway from southeast. It'll be on the other side of the reservation. But the reservation ends. Wait. I think the map might be wrong. I think the Geronimo's outside of the reservation. The reservation is on this side here. So all this. So you know what? I'll take it back. It's actually on reservation land then. So my mistake. I read the map wrong.
Okay.
So this is all the reservations. Looking at the Google Maps version. So, San Carlos actually might have the what's necessary.
Yeah.
San Carlos, Arizona.
Seems to be home base. I think that's a
4,000. There you go. That's where you can conduct the if you want to the nearest place. You don't need to bring Garrett in then too.
Okay.
So ignore that. Okay. So with all the bodies collected, it's going to take a couple of hours to conduct the autopsies. What do you want to? Is it just the 4 individuals, or do you also want to examine the sheep, Dr. Butler?
Trying to think if she didn't go to school to be a veterinarian, so I think she'd leave that to somebody Well, I don't think that would come to her mind. No, she wouldn't do anything on the sheep at this point.
Just humans, okay.
Yeah,
You did
unless she
happen to
finds
notice.
something weird, then she might.
Well, you did notice like the same needle puncture. All the 4 members of the Begay family and each of the sheep had the same. Each of the buried sheep had the same markings. If you do think to ask, now that you know that there was a larger herd, the other 175 sheep, they didn't notice any puncture wounds on any of their bodies.
Yeah. I think Wood found out that they died of dehydration.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
the 4 members of the Begay family, and that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Turner, Wood, this is going to be early evening when they get back from recovering those, turned over investigation to some of the deputies. Wood and Turner, what do you guys wish to do with your evening?
Before they've left the location, Wood is going to ask Colorado's, who says, "Who's Palmer?"
Palmer Valor.
Yeah. Why? Why do you think Rope wants me to speak with him? Medicine?
He's Palmer is someone who knows about the old ways.
Okay. Sorry, medicine man? Was that or was it just medicine? Yeah.
A medicine man is what you might call him.
Okay. Old ways. I mean, can't hurt.
And we can talk to Palmer when he gets back, but Palmer and 2 other similar guys with similar interests, William Nikis and David Beelis, all 3 are on a retreat right now.
Who's the second guy? David?
William Nikis. I'll put all the names in.
Jesus. Retreat. Convenient. William Cheese and David. They're all on retreat. What kind of a retreat?
Religious one.
Does he feel like Colorado's is kind of hesitant to give out information, or?
Yeah, your human history is quite good, right? It's like 70 or 80 or something. 80. Yeah, like he seems to be, even like you've got pretty good rapport with him, but now that you're sort of pushing up against this, that you are pushing against something, you could give us a persuade roll to see if there's...
Yeah, I think he's going to do that. He's like... sorry, I gotta find my guy. Persuade is a 60. Let me just make sure on my human. Yeah, that's an 80.
Okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine this is probably on the drive back when you're in the Bronco with him and you ask about that, and there's a bit of a reluctance. If you want to push into that a little bit, you certainly can. So what he's told you is that Palmer, William, and David are on a religious retreat.
Mm-hmm. What he asks is like, he says, pardon me if I'm overstepping, but you don't seem comfortable discussing. Is it that you don't think they have anything useful to tell us?
It's not that... These are murders now, and They aren't pretty ones. I don't want the FBI coming in and suggesting that it's the barbaric ways of the Apache that are to blame for these murders.
And Wood kind of blinks. He's like, I certainly didn't make that connection. I'm following what the local witnesses are telling us, and Rope obviously thinks there's a reason. What do you believe Rope's reason for suggesting we talk to that more specifically than they happen to know about the old ways? Because he didn't mention anything until I mentioned the coyotes and how the graves were found.
The coyotes. Rope. He's more in line with what Valor, the Cheese, and Velas would believe. I think if anyone could tell us, if anyone wishes to talk about what John believes, then Palmer Valor would be someone to tell you about that, but they're on a retreat concluding a religious ritual important to our people's beliefs. And he switches to Apache and he says, you can understand, we don't want a easy and incorrect resolution.
Of course. Does he feel, does Lewis, right? Agent Wood. Does he feel like he's getting close to hitting a brick wall with Colorado's?
No, you've actually, like, if you says, he says, I can.
Yeah.
I can introduce you to them when they get back.
Okay, because he wants to also ask, he says, can you tell me a little bit about the ritual? Believe me, I find. So, no, he doesn't say anything outside for that. He just, can you tell me a little bit more about that, about the ritual that they're doing? And I understand if that's something that your people will not talk with others.
And this is back in English. Truth told, I don't know as much about it as I. Palmer is a medicine man.
Mm-hmm.
He knows those ways. Same with the Cheese and Velas. I don't. They should be done, whatever they're doing, in 2 days.
2 days. And last question, I think, is whereabouts is this? I do not intend to go find them unless it becomes necessary. I'm just curious what area it is in compared to where we've seen the other.
It's a cave that we consider sacred.
Mm-hmm.
A cave about 5 kilometers east of San Carlos.
Okay. In the mountains?
The cave's in the mountains, yeah.
Okay.
The
and
eastern side
yep.
of the Gilas.
Yep. He says, thank you. Again, I don't have any reason to go there immediately unless things escalate further.
It's like you really made progress. Any other agent likely would have been stonewalled here. You've done. He's been a lot more forthcoming with you than he likely would have been.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys arrive back Well, I guess first I'll check in with Agent. So Agent Turner and Dr. Butler on the drive out. There was a bit of fun, kind of like playing about the radio and whatnot. What's the mood like on the drive back from the gay ranch? The sun's going down. It's summer, so it's still going to be up fairly late, but it's going to be low in the sky. Oh, you're muted, John. Tabo.
Hey. Gotta supposed to know, it's Arizona. Gotta stay hydrated. I think that Butler switched more into professional mode. She's taking the audio recordings and on a tape to remind herself of what she's looking for in the coming autopsies. Double checking what she saw with Turner to include with her notes, and basically she's just ignoring any kind of things on the radio. So,
Turner.
Well, unsurprisingly, Turner's hacking another dart, ashes it in the ashtray, hanging out the window, enjoying the evening breeze as it rolls through the windows. And and
it's the desert. It's a good point because, like, as hot as it is, like I joked about it being dark, hot in Death Valley. That's because it's a fucking prehistoric lake. But I camped in the Mojave Preserve. And at night, the temperature just plummets. Not as bad as it is here, but yeah, like as soon as that sun's going down, it's going to start cooling off right away. So
in the air.
yeah.
I'd say because, and case in point, I would say a thought bubble of being thankful to be a part of the team that he is right now. Wood and Butler are definitely showing their strengths. And he's kind of not, I don't know, I think with all the things that Turner's gone through over the years, he's definitely developed a thicker skin than most, and so it's just another bunch of bodies. I don't think he's all that bent out of shape by it.
That's actually a good point. Is I do need Butler and Turner to give us sanity losses as well.
I was about to say, she will be saying this is the weirdest thing she's ever seen.
Because finding a corpse is a potential 1 point loss. So give us a sanity check. Success for Dr. Butler.
She's seen bodies, but the way these four were, and then the
what's up here? Sanity. Just the big sanity button, sorry?
I think so, I think so.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Nice.
Ooh,
nice. You guys are good. The reason is worth it because if you fail sanity 3 times without like exceeding suffering a catastrophic, I can't remember what it's called, like whatever kind of extreme loss is, you become inured to it. Like you become accustomed to it. You suffer stat losses because, becoming less emotive and less empathic is not necessarily a good thing, but it does mean you don't have to make things. So thanks for the reminder, Bob. It was a good unintentional reminder. But so we reach back at San Carlos. The bodies are unloaded, and just because we know that John won't be able to join us next time, maybe let's fast track our focus on the forensic examination.
Yes. Would I be using forensics or surgery?
So there's a couple of different elements. Medicine.
Got that as well.
Is what your forensics is giving you what the initial kind of review is. Medicine or pharmacy is what you'll be requiring for examining sort of the basic examination of the bodies.
I got a 60, and I'll be opting to roll it either way. So
yeah, go ahead and give us a roll. Nice. Okay. We'll find out what Turner and Wood were doing during this time, but Dr. Butler conducting an autopsy of all 3. What you find?
There was 4.
4. Sorry, there had 3. So 3. All 4 shows that those needle-like wounds, each of the wounds pierced the heart, the lungs, both adrenal glands, and both amygdalas of humans. But yeah, you'll. Okay, do you have training in pharmacy?
Yes, it's only a 20 though.
Hey, so just well, that'll be fine.
I'm willing to roll it if you want me to.
No. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let's see. You could get a critical.
Hot damn!
Nice.
Trying to get it to rate. So here's what you find. So for one, there was the puncture. Because there's a needle-like wounds, I imagine you've done some examination of what is in the tissue around that. What you find is there are traces of a tranquilizer in all of the bodies in their central nervous system, something that would have blocked the receptors for receiving voluntary nerve messages. Involuntary nervous action continued, so effectively a paralytic, something that would not stop the heart, not stop you breathing, but would remove the ability for voluntary muscle control.
Am I able to tell whether it's natural or synthesized?
Give us a biology check again. I know you're trained in that. This tranquilizer most certainly is not something that is known in nature, and you've never even heard of anything like it. As far as you know, whatever this substance is, does not exist in nature and is entirely unknown to science.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think that called for a sanity check.
Okay. Give us that's probably to the unknown, so give us a sanity check. Critical success. Nicely done.
Mama.
What do you think that reflects?
I'm thinking in her mind, she's always been this kind of like irreligious, go to church because it's a social thing. But
Yeah.
something in the back of her mind, like that inner kind of core thing that turns into supernatural, just an eye cracks open. It's like, what is this?
I can tell you further, there are elements in its makeup that do not appear to be native to Earth, or at the very least, they are completely unidentifiable.
Okay.
You also find that there are strange pre-death necrosis events in the human cadavers. Both of the amygdala in each of the human cadavers appear to have suffered cell death before the victims were exsanguinated. So the nature of the damage to the amygdala was such that it occurred before the bodies were drained of blood. Similarly, both adrenal glands atop the kidneys have suffered similar pre-cardiac arrest necrosis, so damage to them before the blood stopped pumping. The enteric nervous system in the intestinal tracts were also necrotic prior to death. And finally, the victims' systems are awash with adrenochrome, a waste product created when the hormone adrenaline is used by the body. The enteric nervous system of the intestinal tract creates 90% of the serotonin of the human body. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that regulates mood. Low levels of serotonin lead to depression and anxiety, and the amygdala are believed to be part of the limbic system of the brain that induces negative emotions like fear, sadness, and anxiety. The adrenal glands create the hormone adrenaline, which kicks in to prepare the body physically for both fight or flight responses to severe danger. And finally, high levels of adrenochrome suggest high levels of adrenaline for prolonged periods. A functioning theory you may have, subject to amendment, pending additional information, Doctor, something may have invaded the body through those perforations and then manipulated the nervous systems and glands to ensure that the victims experienced massive fear, anxiety, and depression while being unable to consciously move anything prior to their death by exsanguination.
Got some notes. Yep, that sanity check was definitely called for.
So having concluded her autopsy, sitting in the modest, corners, I don't know if it's called a lab, coroner's office. No, it wouldn't be the office either. Gallery, maybe? I don't know. Theater, I think, because it's an operating theater, right? So, but Dr. Butler is sitting there alone, completing your notes, dictating a lot of what I have read out here. How's she sitting with this? Sitting with these bodies that effectively were brought to as much terror and trauma before dying.
Well, there's one small part of her that would try to imagine being in their place to get from their perspective, and that's just not a good headspace to be in for long periods of time. But her mind is just purely analytical at this point, trying to figure out what the hell we've gotten ourselves into. And making a very strong mental note that she's going to tell each of her agents as much as in explicit detail, because they need to know as well and suffer her pain.
So let's assume that Turner and Wood, there's a local, there's the Apache Motor Inn where you guys will, assuming you don't want to drive back to Phoenix tonight, you'll put yourself up there. There's maybe a local diner or restaurant that you guys are going to meet at for a very, very late dinner. What's the look on Dr. Butler's face as she walks in to join her colleagues?
Oh, she's a pure professional look. Although her eyes are kind of little dark circles, because she's been 100% focused since they left that ranch. And so she's looking to get a coffee or something to stimulate her to keep her awake. But there's a little bit of heaviness around her, like she's learned something she doesn't want to know.
What have Turner and Wood been talking about while in the hours that it's taken for Dr. Butler to complete these autopsies?
I think Turner's kind of been suggesting possibilities for next steps and where the investigation is going to take us next.
Does Wood share about the 3 medicine men?
He a little bit. He says that there's three possible leads that are available, but they are not. They're basically not in the area at the moment, and we'll be back in a couple of days. We can follow up, and that they may have. He mentions that he doesn't mention specifically that they're doing a ritual and where they are. He just says that they are Apaches who know the old ways, understand the old ways a little more, and that John Rope had suggested we talk to them when I talked about the coyotes. So he doesn't mention the whole ritual aspect or anything else at this point, because he doesn't feel like it has anything specifically to do. He feels like it's just that they might have some more information that we can't get to anyway until 2 days. So
also realizing this is a relatively small place in the 90s, so there's no fucking way it's going to be open late. You guys are probably meeting at your motel, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So there's maybe Turner and Wood are sitting outside as blessedly quiet, and because of the aridity of this kind of environment, the skies at night are just fucking full of stars.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Butler, you probably left the vehicle with her, maybe. So she's not having to. She may have dropped you off and then gone, or maybe Chief Colorados is going to drop you off because he would want to know the results of this. So you see the Bronco come over with Chief Colorados and drop Dr. Butler off. He's brought you guys some beer as well for the evening. And Dr. Butler, would you shared the findings with Chief Colorados?
She would have waited until everybody was in one spot.
Okay. So he passes out the beer, whatever the local Arizona preferred beer would have been in the 90s. I'd have no earthly idea, but I can tell you I'll know by next time. And Dr. Butler, we'll leave. You have the final word in our session.
Yeah, she's definitely going to share like everything she found, but she's going to start it with this. I think we're going to find a lot more exposed bodies. Whatever did this has a paralytic toxin that it injects when it feeds. And that is strange coming from her because she is straight up no nonsense and purely naturalistic kind of thinking.
Chief Colorado says, you mean when someone injected them with this?
No. This was biological. But of the sort I don't know. For better lack of a word, it was a creature.
I think that's where we'll end our session, guys. So we pan with all four of you standing in the dark. The street lights are few and far between in San Carlos.
Dr. Beller takes a cigarette from Turner and lights it.
And the vast and trackless stars above tells you, perhaps portends on things to come. So then, guys, that brings us to the end of part 1 of Puppet Shows and Shadow Plays. Before we end, Jaden, you're the only one who failed a skill check.
I was trying hard, Kev.
Yeah, it's a neat mechanic, right? Like it's a neat kind of risk reward. So after the session, add 1 to each check skill and then erase all checks. So add 1 to whatever skill you failed there.
I thought it was a D4.
It says it's so in the core book. I know it says that on the Roll20 thing. In my printing of the book, it says add 1. So I actually don't know. I'll take a look at the errata, and if it is a D4, I'll let you roll a D4 at the start of the next session.
Sweet.
But yeah, the sheet in the actual print version of the book says that. I don't know whether the Roll21 is the more accurate version or not. But you can add 1. What skill was it that you failed?
Is my forensics. So it's at a 30. I'll bump that up to a 31.
That sounds good. Yeah. And then we'll check, and I'll write that down so I don't forget. Hey, Kev, take some notes. Okay.
That was fun.
Check on.
That was a blast.
Yeah? Oh, I'm so glad.
I'm extra excited for next session.
Hell yeah.
It's like how the reveal turned out is like, I was trying to ration out everything to be like, it's injected, somebody did it, and like, no, there's after all of that, no, that's a creature.
Great. Yeah, no, you guys all did a really fucking great job of like figuring the sort of the headspace for each of your characters too. It's really, really fun. Great. All right. So then for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 1 of Puppet Shows and Shadow Plays. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with further. But in the interim, as is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the adventure we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server where all of us are active, and we have channels that are dedicated to the Lovecraft games in general, most of the games and campaigns we run on the channel, as well as things like Find a Group, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat. There's a terrific, helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly community over there. You're more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and open RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection selection of hard-to-find out-of-print RPGs. Like, for instance, if you wanted to track down a copy of the original Delta Green, you may be able to find that there. If they don't have something in stock you're looking for, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code Summer Nights, all caps, all one word, and Nights with a K is listed down below. That'll save you 10% on any purchase of $10 or more through their website. That will be valid until the end of June 2026. If you're listening to this after that time, just come back to one of our more recent videos. You'll see what the current discount code is listed there. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart players. So Jaden, Robert, and John, thank you so much for playing today, guys. This was a lot of fun kickoff, which will be a really fun adventure. I'm so sorry for what's going to happen to your agents next time, but... we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, but until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our Delta Green agents are encountering as they're simply trying to uncover the secrets of the Devil's Highway. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.